Alright, so welcome back. Let's see how this works. My last stream ended a little bit abruptly. I wasn't exactly planning that, but I think we're streaming again, so hopefully we're in a good spot. Alright, so who knows, too many people using the internet or whatnot here at the house, but you know, side effect. So, anywho, where I'm at, I'm going to zoom out here real quick. Because I don't know if you want to go back and watch the other live videos, but anyway, so where I'm at, I am designing a custom house for a client who, I'm actually doing a pair of these. I'm doing one that her fiance wants, I'm doing one that she wants, and then once we've looked at both of these plans, we'll kind of figure out what's the same, what's different, do we want to pick one or the other, or do we want to try and meld it into one. So this one, definitely a little different stylistically from the one that the fiance, the gentleman, came up with, in that his was very industrial. His was basically 2/3 shop, 1/3 house. Hers, on the other hand, is mostly house, and it happens to have a garage off the back. But this is more of a, I want to say, well, yeah, rustic. It's not quite a log cabin, but it's kind of inspired by that. So it's a big, giant space, fairly open. We're going to do the high timbers and the vaulted ceilings in part of this. So I'm kind of excited about this. I think this will be pretty cool. I'm trying to picture the mezzanine, because right now I do have a staircase in here to go up to a little balcony, although it wasn't really necessary for the plans. We might just end up using this as a staircase for the basement. I might skip the mezzanine altogether. But it's an option. It's kind of a nice little way to take advantage of the beautiful landscape that we're hopefully going to have, because they don't have a lot picked out yet. They're, you know, this is, in some ways, this is all kind of a conceptual project. They're still deciding whether they want to live in town near where their business is located, or seeing where the business goes and if that's something they can do with a commute, so on and so forth. So they're still debating whether they're going to buy land super duper close to Billings, maybe an hour outside of Billings. So we're working on a house. It's not necessarily site specific, obviously, but we'll make adjustments as needed. So for the moment, what I'm working on with this house is coming up with a layout for the main floor. The main floor is pretty, the back part here, we've got laundry, mudroom, powder room, butler's pantry. This empty space over here, this is going to be kitchen. And then out here, all of this is great room, living, dining, etc. And then this over here is the master suite. So I'm going to come on in here to the kitchen. And this particular client, she sent me one picture of the outside of something she liked, and then we talked about her wants for the inside, but she did not send me, say, a floor plan that she found online or anything like that. So we actually, everything that we talked about was just features, but not a floor plan that I'm necessarily copying or working off of. So for her kitchen, she wants it very open. She wants lots and lots of countertop and cupboard space. She does want a commercial side fridge, side by side, you know, the fridge freezer that kind of look like they're built in. We're going to do a gas oven stove combo. She does want an island with the main sink and dishwasher on that island, and then an elevated bar area for seating at that island. So that is the plan. So now, looking at the space we have, we need to come up with what's called the work triangle. So the work triangle is the three main components of any kitchen: your sink, your fridge, and your stove. So, we've got the butler's pantry going on back here. The butler's pantry, as I was describing in the last video, it's combination storage, but also a secondary kitchen. So it's like the messy stuff that you don't necessarily want out in the main kitchen. So I've got a little tiny sink over here in the corner. Actually, we'll go back and do windows. But anyway, I've got a little sink here in the corner, thinking maybe like coffee station, toaster oven, that kind of stuff. And then this back wall will just be floor-to-ceiling shelves and storage for all those Costco runs, because especially if they do end up building this house away from town, they'll definitely need that storage space for bulk groceries. I was listening, who was it? I was listening to someone talk, and she was like, yeah, you know, my family, my mom was a farm wife, and when you went to the grocery store, you never bought one of anything. You always bought 2 or 3 of everything, because it could be a month before you go back to the store. So some days I kind of wish that was the case here. I know I go to the store 2-3 times a week, and I still feel like I'm buying 17 of everything every time. But that's what happens when you have a preteen boy and All that. So, okay, so looking back here at the kitchen, I'm thinking for my basic utilities, my basic appliances, let's do that. We know we want the, oh, that's too big. We know we want the sink in the island. So really quick, we'll plug this in here. Okay. I want to double wide. Alright, well. Alright. Okay. Sorry. Dishwasher. Do you want to do a gas range? We'll do like that. So we'll put that kind of over here. And we wanted to do a built-in refrigerator. And a built-in freezer. In the front of the cabinet. Freezer only. No, that's not what I want. Okay. Well, why did it let me do that? I don't know how big it needs to be. The cabinet is not large enough. Well, I wish it would tell me how big it needs to be. Alright then. Apparently that was big enough. So, just out of curiosity, yeah, that's not going to work. Okay. So we're just going to show it this way. Actually, duh. There we go. Well, that was easy. Now, that is huge. So for scale, I almost think I need to find a different range. We'll leave it. Okay. Because we aren't going to do a separate wall oven. We're just going to do that. So, okay. So basically we have our three main appliances. Obviously this is not exactly where they're going to be positioned, but it's a good starting point. So, cabinet tool. To make this look right, we're going to put a full height cabinet off here to the side. Not only does that make it look right, but it creates a little bit of a buffer, so when you have the doors open, you're not in a situation where you're locked at exactly a 90-degree angle. Granted, these are really big fridges, but like I have a stupid side-by-side up in my kitchen right now, and I absolutely hate that thing because you can't get full open on that door because of where it's put. And so then you've got this door that opens 90 degrees, and you have cubbies or shelves or whatever that are in the door that stick out, 3-4 inches. So then if you're trying to pull something out of here, you've got to turn it, you've got to twist it, you've got to move it. It just doesn't work. Really annoying. So if you can get wider than that 90-degree opening, obviously you're going to be in a much better situation. Okay, so now here, I'm going to open that up real quick. I'm going to reverse that symbol because I want the door handles to be next to each other. And then on this end of the fridge, where it connects to the next row of cabinets, that's where we would do, with just an end panel, of course. So, I would need to move this just a little bit, and probably more like that. Okay. Bare minimum, when you have an island, you need 3 feet of clearance on all sides, but especially when it's your main appliance area, your main work triangle, 4 is going to be a lot more comfortable. So then we need to decide, are we going to, we've got the length here, so we could actually do some cabinets down here and do sort of an L-shaped thing here, and then leave this space alone, or maybe add some cabinets here. We'll play on it. It just depends on how we want this island to feel. But if we have fridge, sink, stove, kind of in that triangle here, then this space over here becomes a little more of a prep space, or like if you're going to have a buffet or have a big family dinner, you start lining up your food there. So I think I might leave this space empty just for traffic. I think we're going to feel more comfortable that way. No, I don't want to move that. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now, I like, me personally, I like Lazy Susans. Not everyone does. That's their prerogative, I'm sure. But I do. But for whatever reason, this template is silly. It has a backsplash, but none of the other cabinets do. And they only made it 34 inches tall. It's 36. So. The toe cables off. Okay, so there. That gets us a corner cabinet. Oops. I'm going to move the range over just a teeny bit, because I don't want the range to be right up against it. We'll do that at 21 for a sec. And so now I'm just trying to create some symmetry. There we go. So now we have a 24-inch cabinet on either side of the range, and then plus this corner Lazy Susan. So more than likely, when we get to the point of designing cabinets, I'll recommend that those be drawer bases. One of the kind of shifts in cabinet design here in the last, I don't know how many years, but drawers are actually significantly more functional for kitchen storage, because you can, anyone that's ever tried to get to something in the back of a base cabinet, you have to get down on your hands and knees and reach into the back and move everything out. It's freaking obnoxious. You do a 3-tier drawer base, or even a 2, you pull that out, everything is right there. You can use pegs and dividers to hold things where they need to be so they're not slipping around, but you can fit a lot in drawers that don't make sense in a door-based cabinet. So, okay. So now we just need some cabinets down this wall. Okay. So that actually fits pretty nicely. We're a little close on this end, so let me get my measurement out here. So we want, like I said, we need a minimum of 3 feet. but ideally 4 is better. Okay, so I'm going to do 3'6" on this end. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, and we don't want it to be too far over, so I'm going to go with 4 foot there, because we also want space on here for bar stools and things. So it's actually not 5'6", it's going to be less than that. And there we're just about 4 feet, and that is a pretty high traffic area. So again, 4 feet down there makes sense. Definitely 4 feet here with the sink, the dishwasher, all of that. And then she wanted a raised section for the so what I'm going to do here is okay, and then we don't obviously want drawer and a door under there, so I'm going to really quick do a custom face here. Delete that. Yeah, that's what we want. Because then if she wants to use it for cookbook storage or whatever. Okay. Oops. And then I need a countertop. And this is set thickness from cabinet. Okay, so if we use the camera tool real quick. Okay. So that's not too bad. We've got that. And actually, maybe the client would want open shelves. Maybe the client just wants us to build a little half wall. We'll play around with it. But that at least shows. Yeah, maybe we'll do a half wall instead. Sometimes I like that, and sometimes I don't, so we'll start over. Okay, delete. So with our wall tool, straight half wall. So we're going to back that up. The nice thing about doing a half wall like that is it does give us a really good place for plumbing to run. It gives, you're not having to run it up through the base of a cabinet necessarily. It also gives us place for electrical outlets, so if you wanted to do a couple electrical outlets on the back here, and also of course the electrical for your vats, you can have your switch in that 6 inches between your countertops. You can have your switches for your disposal, and just outlets for a few other little things. So now we'll do custom countertop again. Might be I'll do 15 inches. Okay. No, we'll do 2 foot. Okay. So now this one is not height from cabinet. We want this to be 42, which means that this wall down here. Hold on. We'll need to make sure that that height on that is correct. So I'm going to pull that countertop back. Again, we're going to pop in here real quick with the camera. Oh, yep, and it is not tall enough, so there we go. And this is just a tiny little, when we're building it, we'll make sure that we've got that lip right and everything. We don't want that little cap on the wall, the wood, so I'm just going to paint that. And it looks like we're... There we go. Alright. So this doesn't look like much right now, but this is loosely our kitchen space. So now what we want to do, I'll close that real quick. Okay. Got it. Okay. So now what we want to do is figure out, do we want windows in this kitchen? Often if the sink is on an exterior wall, that's a good spot for a window, but we really don't have that. And with those big built-in fridge and freezer, there's not a lot of space there. So we can do a couple things. We could move the range down here and then do like a window over here, or we could just throw a window over here and see what that looks like, or a couple windows. So, no, not cabinet, window. So I think maybe that's what we'll do, is we'll throw a couple of those. Let's do a hood. Okay, and then we need a couple wall cabinets. I always try to make sure my cabinets are in 3-inch increments because that's what stock cabinets will come in. And so as a really good way to save costs, purchasing stock cabinets helps a lot. I don't like that corner one, so we'll do that. And then for symmetry, copy that. Oops. Okay, so we don't have a ton of upper cabinets. Let's see what that looks like here in 3D. And that's not too terrible. Now these are 9-foot ceilings, which the client wanted. We could, there's a few things we can do here. Okay, so I've just gone and put some upper cabinets there. But of course they're wanting to, oops, there we go. We need them to be tall, otherwise they're pointless. There we go. We need the range hood to actually connect to the ceiling. Okay. Now, in reality, in practice, more than likely instead of being a single unit, those would be a stacked unit. So you'd break it up into 2 doors, but for the purpose of just seeing what that massing looks like, that's not too bad. And I kind of like how, so we've got some natural light coming in for sure. We've got space here. See what a couple stools would look like. So we flip back over here to the camera view. So that, yeah. So the kitchen there, you can see it's open to the space. Guests can definitely come in, help out. There's plenty of space around the island for people to be involved in helping out with cooking. And yet, you're not sitting out in the great room staring at the dishes. You're not stuck. You're part of the action, but you're not putting everything on display in the middle of the room, which is kind of nice. And there's a lot of things that we could do with this kitchen. If for example, these are giant fridge and freezers. If the client wants to go a little bit smaller on that, we definitely would have a little more countertop space to do some other things. Maybe we look at the rest of this plan and maybe we decide to pull that wall forward and the island turns the other direction. There's a few other things we can definitely do here if we wanted to. But I think that's actually pretty nice. And then, over in that corner, if you wanted to have like a water cooler or just leave it empty, put a pretty little tree there. I think that works. The other option is if the client doesn't like quite how far that's say closed off from the rest of the space, is we've got an extra 2 feet here where this broom closet is. We've got lots of other storage back here. If they feel the need, we could definitely push that powder room back, which would open this up by about 2 feet, which is right about equal with the end of that island. So that is another option that I can propose to the client. So we've thrown in some windows on that front, and I definitely want to have a window in that pantry. I think that'll make a huge difference. And it looks like, as long as the garage stays where it is, we can squeeze a little window in the laundry room. Now the mudroom obviously not, because that backs up to the garage there, but that's okay. Alright, so kind of got that half. That's sort of that utility function working half. So now over here on this other space, okay, so as long as we're in the public area, real quick, this right out here, this is your great room, dining room. So if we're looking at wall tools really quick, I'm just going to come off this corner here and go over here. We're going to label this as our kitchen. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to delete those dimensions now that I know that we're pretty good all the way around. We're going to label this as our kitchen. There we go. And I'm going to move that door label just out of the way a little bit. Okay. So there you can see what we've got here. This right here, this whole entire space becomes the great room. Now we will have, look at this staircase here. So that's kind of cool looking. So like I said, we might have that going up if we do a vaulted ceiling and do a loft. Otherwise, that staircase will simply be the one going down. If we have the loft, we'll just have them stacked. So that would actually be open below. So actually, let's see if I can show what that looks like. See there, it's wanting me to, hold on. Ah, here we go. That is not the pattern. That is open to below. So there you can see that staircase, where that would go down. So you'd have this really cool 2-story stacked staircase. Oh, sweet. I'm liking this a lot. And now, once we get the plan a little further down, then I'll go back through and kind of futz around with some of the materials. But, yay. Okay. So then, this is great room. And I'm just going to center this. Oh, shoot. Alright. I almost forgot I gotta leave here in a little while. Alright. It's been a busy week. So this is the great room. So we can do a couple different things. You know, the traditional layout for a plan like this is to have a big giant fireplace stack here, kind of in the middle, and then windows sort of all around. We've got space that you could very easily have, say, a dining room table kind of here, or we could split the room sort of in half and have dining over here and living over here. The fireplace could be here at the corner. The fireplace could actually divide the space if we wanted something more permanent. Or we could just make this, honestly, a straight across wall and then do fireplace on one end. So that's another option. So anyway, I'm just going to leave that labeled as great. We've got lots of options. I'll talk it over with the client. Really quick before I have to wrap this up, I'm going to try. Okay, so this is master bedroom. And then, let's see. So with the master, we wanted to do a jet tub no matter what. We definitely need a walk-in closet. Possibly, we talked about the possibility of doing a second fireplace over here that's maybe dual-sided between the bedroom and the bathroom. Jet tub, dual vanity, a large shower maybe with a waterfall head and steam. So if we do this, how is that off? There we go. Okay. So we've got all this space back here. Okay. So we come on in. Well, I'm assuming we'll have windows and stuff out here. The bed could be right here, although when you're coming into the room like that, you don't always want to see the side of a bed, but sometimes that's the way it is. But I don't really want to do like a hallway, because I don't want, I mean, I could use the space for storage, but I don't really want to do the hallway. So I think, what does a king bed look like in here? Yeah, I mean, that fits pretty well, and you've still got room on either side for nightstands. And the nice thing about that is, then if we are thinking double-sided fireplace between the bedroom and the bathroom, if we pop that down, then over here is where we could do that. You could maybe have a door like right here going closet, bathroom. And then you've got space over here. If you've got the fireplace right there, then that's where you could have like a little, maybe a couple chairs or a settee or something in front of that fireplace. So double-sided. Now the way they do these templates or these, whatever they're, you can't put it right smack in the wall. You have to undo the wall and pop it over. Don't ask me why. We'll have to do some searching on what model could be there, but anyway. Okay. So then let's do pocket door, but of course we'll have to switch. Oops. Okay. And again, we like our 3-foot doors in this house. And then, so you'll enter into the bathroom. And then over here would be the closet. And for that, we'll probably leave it as a smaller door. All right, so I think that's about all the time I have for today, but this gets us off to a really good start. We can see really what the main floor of this house looks like. The square footage is not huge. It's only about 1,800 square feet on this main floor. Like I said, we might do a little mezzanine balcony. I don't know. We're definitely going to be doing a lower level basement with a small guest suite, a family room, and a couple, like 1 or 2 home offices, or maybe like one big home office that can be divided somehow. So anywho, that is my plan. That's what I've been working on today. I am super excited. I really actually am loving this project. Really exciting client. So anywho, if you haven't already, please, please, please like, comment, subscribe. Give me a little bit of social push on here, and tell your friends. Make sure to, if you subscribe, that you do the whole alert me thing so that you can find out when I'm streaming next, because it is a little bit erratic just based on what work I have and what projects I'm working on. So yeah, like, comment, all of that awesome stuff. I really do appreciate you, and have a wonderful night.